We're gonna talk about my birth control journey from going off of the pill, hating it, doing everything in my God-forsaken power to stay off of it, and then getting back on.
Welcome back to Biracial and Bitchy, a show about holding multiple identities and reconciling them into one strong sense of self. And now your host, Nisha Balsara.
I just cut all my hair off, okay? I know. If you haven't seen it yet, why aren't you following me on Instagram, you dirty little hag? This is my thesis statement, okay? What I learned from the society that I wrote this down when I was really amped about this, so I'm gonna just read it to you because I'm like not in the same place mentally as when I wrote this episode. What I've learned from pushing the taboo and talking about family planning with my friends is that the society I live in vastly underprepares women for birthing babies. I think we push one narrative and then we shame everyone else and tell them not to talk about it. I like talking about anything openly that has minimized our pain physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I'm feeling a little bitchy today. Let's yap about how I, yes, got off birth control and then back on it in order to eventually have a baby. I didn't think it was possible either. Weird. Hate it. Love it. Doing well. Let's talk about it. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, let's try again. The mic situation has changed. I kind of hate having to hold this. What am I saying? I kind of love it. Before I tell you everything I'm gonna talk about, I just like need you to know a little smidge about me. I'll be really quick. I'm from a town in Texas. Christian culture was galore there. So I have a very like cultural understanding of womanhood that comes from a lot of Christian beliefs. So when I had to go on the pill, at like 16 years old, because I wasn't getting periods at all. I like literally started and then just never again. And I was terrified. I was like, I am not having sex at all. I was the most terrified little chicken, even though girls be starting all kinds of rumors at school about. So I was pretty horrified to get on birth control. I've always had a very negative connotation of birth control. I never wanted to be on it. There were so many times in high school when we were trying to figure out what was wrong with my reproductive system in general. I just always had problems that would go off the pill and on the pill, and the pill was just too many hormones for me. So we'd take me off. We tried spironolactone for like what we thought was PCOS. It was bananas. And like, okay, I grew up in Texas. All this time, this was so traumatizing. The OB-GYN that did my blood work, we never did an exam because do you know why? She looked at me in the eyes and she picks up a metal speculum that I swear to the good Lord is the biggest metal speculum I have ever seen in my entire life. And she said, if you let a penis go inside of your vagina, this will too. And I'm literally still reading Harry Potter. I kept my legs crossed. I was sad. I was not having sex. Just the culture and the shame, and then like having to be on birth control and then go to the nurses' quarters when you're on a school trip and people are just taking like the regular bottles that are like the little orange bottles, and I take out my cunty little credit card. It was so embarrassing. And I'm going in there and I'm like, everyone must think I'm taking this because I'm a whore and I'm the Virgin Mary. Did not have a great like emotional start with birth control, but once we got me on the like lowest dose of birth control, I was like doing great. I was having normal periods. I wasn't having these crazy mood swings. I was feeling good, stable. My grades got better. It was amazing. And then here's the real kicker, okay? I stayed, sat on that birth control from 17 to I think 27 years old. I feel like I hear online like, have you ever tried Dr. Jolene Biden? Have you ever? I've done it all. Do you think my mommy wanted to put me on all those hormones? Absolutely not. We did everything. The real kicker is that I just thrived under birth control, and I never thought about it again. I started taking it continuously because I started getting these symptoms where I was diagnosed with interstitial cystitis, which is like a painful bladder syndrome. But I always just knew there was a little something off. There was a little something off. Like, if I ever had breakthrough bleeding, there would always be mood swings the week before and just like pain. And then the pandemic happened, and I'm at home all the time, and I'm with my husband, and every day is the same. But I'm not. Kind of unpredictable, but in a really weird, predictable pattern. And I'm still on the birth control pill. And I just started suspecting, with this breakthrough bleeding, with some mild cramping, some mood swings, some great like bouts of depression, very, very short-lived, but like around the same time of the month. And I thought, I hope to have at least one child one day. Maybe, I don't know. I'm still kind of thinking about it. I called up my doctor one day and I was like, I think there's something going on. Can I get off the birth control pill and see what's happening underneath the sheath? I don't know. Something happened to me around 29 where I started going actually a little, like something in my head cracked, and all I was thinking about was babies. All I was thinking about was having babies. And then my mom starts dying, and then you're like, this incredible person is never going to meet my child. And then my husband's dad passes away. And I'm like, oh, every person in our village is gone, which is not true, but I digress. My grief aside, all I was thinking about was having babies. And I was just so ready to figure out if I could. I always had trouble with infertility. Like, being infertile was not gonna be a surprise to me. We have to talk about that first year, the first year getting off of birth control. I felt like a woman. It was grand. I started having like that like flow of sex drive again. I felt really, really good. There was no acne, nothing really had happened. I think I got a normal period after 6 or 7 months of getting off the pill. And then the second year happened while I was planning my wedding. Oh my goodness. I got acne. I had mood swings galore. I didn't even know I was having cramping, which is wild. The way I perceive pain, I'm like, what is going on there? I mean, I've had some neurodivergent speculations that I think are going on there, but it was like just getting this great buzz in my head 1 week out of the month. It was just like my body couldn't move and everything was just hurting, but I couldn't pinpoint where the pain was until it started gradually wearing off, and then I was like, oh, I think I'm having cramps. My legs were cramping. It felt like I had restless leg syndrome. My back was hurting. I had a really hard time even sitting up straight. And immediately in my little mind, my little TikTok scrolling mind, I'm like, I have endometriosis, 1000%. I think this is what is going on with my bladder stuff. My bladder stuff started coming back after I got off the pill. I remember I was recording this show. It was like a murder mystery show where I cooked and I read off this teleprompter. I read off a teleprompter, told a story about a murder mystery, and deep fried donut holes. I don't want you to go looking for this clip because I don't know how good I was at it, but the money was green and I needed the money. I lost my job. I don't know if I've told anyone this. I lost my job doing that. I feel so bad about it. I literally, the morning of, was peeing fire and just vomiting, and literally left my fellow thespians in a lurch. That was the one cardinal sin when I went to theater school. This is such a sidebar, was to never, ever cancel the morning of. And guess who did it? Me. I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby on the internet. But no, I was violently ill. Second year was terrible. Third year, I started actually getting sick from it. This was the year I got married, and like our first year of marriage. I started posting a lot less. Thank God, honestly, I was sharing way too much on the internet. But I was dealing with severe pain, and we couldn't figure out a way to treat it. In order to diagnose the pain, you have to be off the pill. So I was doing all kinds of shiz to help with this pain. It was awful. It was just so bad just to stay off the pill and like hopefully have a baby. Because in my mind, from 29 to now, I'm turning 33. I think I'll be 33 by the time you see this. These years, I have unearthed so much inside of myself and like asking myself, really, when do I want to do this? Do I even want to do this? Is this something that's going to actually fulfill me? And then having so much pain and knowing in my mind, well, I don't really want to have a baby right now, but it might stop all this pain and then I can just get this thing scooped out of me. This third year, I had vomiting. I had anemia. I was diagnosed with PMDD. I found out I had a fibroid and what is called an adenomyoma, which is like endometriosis, but it's inside of the muscle wall. Yeah.
What's the cure? There is none. Taking your entire uterus out.
Talk about the mental gymnastics I have been going through. Yeah, thank you. Send me flowers. Actually, honestly, tell your friends about this podcast. And adenomyoma. Do you know how just like incredibly terrible it is to get diagnosed with menstrual problems? Something that half the month, if your shit isn't on lock, you're done. You're living, like I was living a subpar quality life. I was editing stuff in my bed. I was trying so hard to keep up and I could barely like walk around. I had to take a good hard look at myself after all of this and think, is this worth having a baby right now? I always wanted to be a mom in my early 30s. My mom is from a family of 10. Everybody had babies. We spent every single summer up in Montreal, in Trois-Rivières, in Canada, with my French-ass cousins, and we were playing with babies, and we were just outside, and I love, fun is like one of my just big goal, moral, foundational things in my life. Like, life has to have a little cheeky fun. That's why I'm in entertainment. So I've always just like, I met Jesse so young, and I've just been dreaming about this for so long, and then we got married, and the time was ready, and I was so ill. Like, all of my vitamin stores were just, after bleeding out so much in order to get this diagnosis, I just felt like a shell of myself. My hair was falling out. Like, I feel like I wasn't even brown in some of my pictures in the wedding, which I've mentioned before. Now I look at myself from when my wedding was, and I was like, oh, that poor girl. She should have just taken birth control earlier. I wasn't healthy for it. And I could have been if I had just gotten on the pill earlier. And it kills me because I am a vegan queen, okay? I love vegetables and natural things more than anybody. But I have this stupid piece of like endometriosis inside the muscles of my uterus. I wanted so badly to be this like Mother Nature. I can take all these herbs and I'll be fine. And it's just, for me, it's just like I needed to drink more water and balance my hormones. No, I have like structural obstructions in my uterus that will make getting off the pill very difficult. I put my whole ass into this. Like, I put 110% into the last 4 years of my life. And now I am, by the time you see this, I think 6 months in to taking birth control. And while my quality of life has slowly improved more and more every month I've taken it. And I've just had to accept the fact that I have to take medication in order to function and survive. And hopefully, in fact, have a baby one day. And I'm sharing this because I was like, this is so counterintuitive. The reason I'm sharing this is that one of my best friends is also going through a similar thing with endometriosis. And more of us are getting diagnosed with things like this. And it is so not what we're seeing like on TikTok when someone's selling you a fucking ebook, or like with someone with a catchy hook, 5 things I eat for my blah, 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 blah to heal my hormones. Like, some of us just don't have the facilities for that. And that's okay. I want to just be like, it's fine, ladies. Be yourself. It's fine, everyone, okay? Be yourself. Do whatever helps you out. But no, I'm like freaking sad about it. Like, every time I see a baby, I am salivating over them. Just, they've never been so cute to me. They've never been so chunky and beautiful and pure, and I can't wait to shape one of my own little chicken. But at the same time, I am 4 months in right now. My life has just felt like it's begun. And I know people tell me, oh, just wait till you have a kid. Just wait till you have a kid. I'm like, I have to. I'm literally like, you don't even know it. You don't even know how hard it is. Oh my God. But I feel so much better. And I actually feel like the vitamins I'm taking, because like, I don't know, you know when you have a baby, they like suck out all your vitamins, like you can lose your freaking teeth. Yeah, they don't tell women this. They don't tell women this. I feel like I'm being tricked. I should not be tricked into motherhood. This is something I want. And if we just like have these conversations, there are ways to preserve your fertility and be able to have children and not be dying in pain. I'm able to keep up with my peers now. I have a stable mood. Like I'm actually like happy. If you have PMDD or endo or any chronic pain condition, being able to have that relief, you become a different person. Like I have a completely different opinion about myself now that I'm not sick. And so I'm here to tell you that if anyone is shaming you for the timing that it's taking for what you're doing in order to do whatever you need to do in life, that's garbage. That is so silly. Everyone is just, yeah, you know, when you're gonna have a little monkey, when you're having a little baby. People come up to us and ask us that. Me, mostly me, which makes me because I'm dealing with all this shit. I'm getting the transvaginal ultrasounds. Like I'm so tired of the like, we're having a baby. No, I'm having a baby. Well, I'm not having a baby. I'm on birth control right now. But like, without that birth control, I wouldn't even have a fucking podcast. I wouldn't be here dazzling you today. Just sometimes life feels like you're going backwards and you're behind everyone and everyone's popping out a little chickie every day and they're so cute. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I had to grieve this whole thing. I had to really, I was telling you from 29 to 30 to 33, all I thought was like, I know why people get knocked up during this time. It's just built up to for so long. They're like, when you turn 30, you know, all your eggs are gonna dry up. And I learned in my women's studies class in college, my one women's studies class in college that made me the woke woman I am today. I learned that that study was done on like French whores. I should probably not say that word. Oh my gosh, the goal is to get this sponsored. Y'all, she can't be saying whores. Call girls who didn't have access to antibiotics or medications. And like, of course, by the age they were 30, like most of their life was over. Mine's just begun, especially that I had to take 4 years off the pill where my life just was like falling apart. Oh yeah, and then they just sprinkled in like death and grieving all in there, which grieving makes you fucking weirdo, okay? I don't think I have to justify myself. I'm not doing that right now. But when other women talk about family planning in this way, it makes me feel so empowered and like my body is actually belonging to, I don't know, me and not everyone who knows that I'm married. They're like, where baby? Ring on finger, where baby? After these past couple of years being off of birth control, going through what is just like the most reproductively challenging 4 years, and what's making me want to wait more than anything else is that I went through hell for this. I lost so much of my life for this. This was my special project. And it's a special project that ended in me being sicker than ever. And now I'm feeling better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm on the pill, so I feel like I did in my 20s, but I'm not a complete dumbass. It's kind of 30, flirty, and thriving. It's really, it is giving. It is giving. I really thought I wanted a ballerina farm life. And then my entire body was like, let's try to kill her. So instead of my ballerina farm life, I'm in my brat Charlie XCX era. Oh, what is that, you ask? Oh, you're not chronically online like me. So anything lime green is brat. Brat is good. Brat is selfish, self-serving, but in a good way. We support women's rights and wrongs. Well, every mama out there, I am so deeply happy for you in a way that I have no idea I'll ever be.
I guess I'm gonna enjoy this era of being biracial, bitchy, and bratty.
I've had to just come to terms with being like, girl, you're going through a lot. You gotta let something go. And giving myself permission to be happy without a baby has been so nice. I don't know, I feel like I'm really cherishing this time in a way that I feel like I'll remember for so long. It's another reason I like am vlogging and making my little like Instagram scrapbooks. You should follow me on Instagram. In a society where we vastly underprepare women, I'm not going to be one of those bitches. Send your friends to me. Love you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Biracial and Bitchy. Be sure to rate us 5 stars because remember, karma is a relaxing thought. And do a bitch a favor, share this episode with a friend. Bye!
Oh yeah! Welcome to my club. Follow my private Instagram, Biracial and Bitchy, on Instagram. To get in, the code word is
Pineapple.